Hello and welcome everybody to the most recent installment of the Serene Retreat from Paris Squared, based on Modern Age by Green Ronin. You have crossed over into some other world. You are not sure where you are or when you are. You just know that it's a bit cinema themed.
A bit?
Mm-hmm.
Like 1000%?
You have
weird?
been escorted by a group of soldiers, the militia. They look like playing cards. They hold spears in their hands, and they have escorted you to the Citizens Registration Bureau. You have made contact with the registrar. She's told you to come in, and since you decided not to come in, you have been brought in. You, in this case, is yourself, Celeste, and Micheline, because you are looking for Leo, who got abducted, probably, possibly, maybe, by a large, gangly man with a pallid face. No, let's not call it pallid, because this is not the Yellow King, with a white face without, well, a white head without a face. And Celeste has informed you that this is an urban legend, which is called the Slender Man, and this can't be happening because the Slender Man is a hoax and has been debunked. But who knows, here he is. And you are standing outside of the Citizens Registration Bureau, and you are surrounded by guards. Do you go in?
Yes.
You reach out your hand. You grab the doorknob, you turn it, you open the door, and you hear, "Hi-ho! Hi-ho!"
I am closing the door immediately. Without stepping in. I'm not going in there.
Celeste looks at you. Why?
Go ahead. Try yourself.
She goes ahead. She opens the door. You hear, "Hi-ho, hi-ho." And she turns around. She says, "Why? It's Snow White. It's Cinderella. And the Seven Dwarfs."
No, it's Snow White.
Okay, Snow White. I thought it was Aschenputtel und die sieben Zwerge.
Schneewittchen hat die 7 Zwerge schon immer gehabt.
Oh, of course, she's the one. Is she the one who ends up in the glass cask?
Yeah.
Yes, because she eats the
forbidden apple.
The forbidden
Not
apple,
the
forbidden apple, the poisoned apple. Yeah, so it's Snow White. It's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Why can't anything be normal here?
She looks at him and she's like, Amélie, I think we passed normal several exits ago.
Can we be like in Wizard of Oz? I just want to go home.
Well, you have to click your heels.
Well, I can try. Click, click. Nothing happened. Well,
No, I mean, you have to say the words. You have to say the words.
I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. And clicking heels.
You click your heels. The whole scenery changes. You are on a yellow road.
Am I alone or are the others with
me? Yes, you are alone.
Great.
In your head, you hear a voice which is clearly Celeste's, and she's like, "Of course she had to do it. I mean, seriously, why can she never just do the obvious? Why does she always have to be so difficult?" And you hear Micheline saying, "I don't know, but this is turning into quite the nightmare, because I was able to herd the two of you while you were together, but where is she? Where did she go? What's it like in the film? She goes back to Kansas. Does she know that's where she's from? Is it? They don't pay me nearly enough for this. So what do we do now?"
Just find Leo, guys. Just trying if they can hear me the other way around as well.
Celeste is like, "Okay, so we're going to go inside. We're going to talk to Snow White. We're going to get our citizens' registration cards. And then we're going to try and find Miss Dubois." You hear a door opening in your head. You hear, hi-ho, hi-ho. You hear footsteps. And, well, which one of you is, Lydia? She had to step away for a second. This will just not do. Everybody needs to register. Well, at least I've got the two of you. So please fill in these 3 forms in triplicate. And did you bring passport size pictures? Biometric? You didn't. How am I supposed to work like this? I can't work like this. This is insane. All right. We will get this sorted. Toulouse? You hear little Paddy pause. Toulouse, I need 2 portraits of these 2 ladies. Please, biometric. And it has to be done now. It should have been done yesterday, but of course they didn't bring anything. Don't tell me you didn't bring a biro either. All right, Quill, Enquel. Micheline is on the brink of a nervous breakdown. You can hear it. She's like, okay, what's next? Lumière? And you hear the person who seems to be Snow White. No, of course not. He's at the castle. So where's the third person? Well, you see, and this is Celeste speaking. She did a really stupid... Well, my friend, I really love her dearly, but she doesn't think before she acts. She is very impulsive, and she decided to click her heels and said, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home. Another one. To be quite honest, I've watched this film I don't know how many times, and I simply don't get it. I do not get it. Everybody always wants to be Julie Andrews. No, it's Liza Minnelli, is it?
I think it's Julie.
Julie Andrews. It's not a good movie. Anyway, my voice is much nicer, and I've got 7 dwarfs. What does she have? A scarecrow, a lion, and a robot? Tin Man, whatever. Well, anyway.
It's Judy Garland, the other Judy. It sounded wrong, but I couldn't pinpoint. I just know the face I'm seeing is not. No, it's Judy Garland, obviously.
So
it's late in the evening, guys.
I will have her retrieved. Okay, if you're going to have her retrieved, can you send something that she can get on board with? Like someone or something that doesn't scare her? And what would that be? I don't know. Jack Sparrow? Yes, of course, I can send Jack. Everybody always wants him or Orlando. I don't really understand why, but all right. You hear all of this in your head. What is your reaction?
I will run along the yellow brick road and see if I can find a tree or something to hide.
I would say that there's probably going to be a tree or something, because I've never watched the movie, but I would assume that it's not just a road.
Although,
there are things
I'm not
beside it.
Would I hide? No, I would just walk, looking one direction, other direction, not sure what I see either way, and just pick one and just start walking.
All right. After a while, you hear a voice behind you. Excuse me. Hello? Stop. What is this? What are you? You hear running.
The voice, does it fit to...
It sounds like Jack Sparrow.
Oh God. I will just keep on walking.
You hear running, and then Jack jumps out in front of you. Ta-da!
I will just go around and keep walking.
Why does this always happen to me? Always.
Just rescue someone else, sir.
I'm not here to rescue you. I'm here to bring you in.
I just literally want to go home. None of us belong here.
No can do.
She will go on walking. I will find my own way, thank you.
A damsel in distress. This is just... Do you have any treasure?
Depends on what you call treasure.
Gold, silver, jewelry? Can I ransom you back to someone? Would somebody pay me for you?
You haven't met me clearly, because then you would not say that.
All right. May I ask you to follow me?
We'll keep on walking.
And he falls in with your step, and he just basically walks next to you and said, "This is fine, because I mean, wherever we go, whichever direction, we will always come back to the CBR. They just sent me to make it, you know, like a little less boring for you."
While we walk, is there any way... How can I get to the archives?
Oh, the archives. Well,
is there a way we can
what
get
is
a
it
little
worth to you?
trip of the scenery before I join prison?
You're not going to prison, are you?
Oh,
Would you like to join my crew? Are you a little bandit?
well, me and my
pirate.
friends, more detectives, but pirates, I think. I haven't been on a ship so far.
Oh, you don't have sea legs? Well, then I don't know, because I mean, really, I'm going
I
on
never
to...
tried.
All right, so, but what would you want to go to the archives for?
Seeing a friend and just having a peek if he's okay.
A quest. If we play our cards right, we might be able to arrange something. But here's my word of advice to you. When you are going to the CBR to register, do not mention the archives. Don't say that you want to go there.
Okay.
You see, it depends on the mood that she's in, but sometimes she can be quite contrary. And then if you say, "I want this," she will give you the opposite.
What is the opposite of archives? Because I'm quite sure she's annoyed because I'm not following the rules.
The opposite of the archives?
Mm-hmm.
Asparagus fields.
Okay. I love asparagus.
But
Oh,
do you
it
love
works.
harvesting it? It's backbreaking work. Trust me.
Well, we'll see. We will see. The other thing is there any way out? Because we came in a very weird and evil way. We were kidnapped, literally, from our world, as many others have been kidnapped.
Are you being held ransom?
Yes.
And who?
Well, not ransom, but we were kidnapped by, I think he's called the Slender Man.
You don't want to mention that name.
Oh, I kind of want to meet him and kick him in where it hurts.
No. Shh. He looks left, he looks right. We only refer to him as the Burgomaster. Do not mention his name.
And if I do, what happens?
Oh, people vanish.
Well, I already vanished from my world. It
No,
can't
from
get
here.
worse.
People get archived. Think about that.
Well, the question is now, is my friend working in the archives or has he been archived? Because he is also not a very cooperative one.
Do you not have any normal friends? Like, I don't know.
Well, it's not normal in our world to be kidnapped by something that is only a myth and then ending up in this insanity.
He looks around. Well, I mean, yes, this is Judy Garland's world. I understand what you mean.
It's your movies to us and stories. You're not real. Except you're standing in the middle of Disneyland. Then you can clearly meet the Jack Sparrow.
I'm disappointed at hearing this. What do you mean I am not real? If I wasn't real, could I do this? And he kind of pokes you on the shoulder very lightly. If I wasn't real, could I do this? And he jumps into the air and does a somersault.
Okay. Well, I just said in my world you're not real. I didn't say you're not real here. Here a lot of things seems to be real that in our world is not. Where does the Bürgermeister live?
In his castle, of course.
That is where?
Let me show you. And he takes you by the hand.
Will not fight it.
And nothing happens. And he's like, oh, I always forget.
Are you blocked?
Peter. A 12-year-old, very thin boy with green clothes and pointy ears flies towards you, lands in front of you. He looks a lot like Peter Pan from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Jack, next time please use my full name. I'm a pirate, just like you. You're not a pirate. You will never be a pirate. You keep fighting us. So, this lady would like to see the castle. Can you take her and then bring her back to me because she needs to see the CBR? Of course. And he holds out his hand to you.
You're not joining us.
Peter looks at you and says, can only take one. But don't worry, you're safe with me.
Is Tinkerbell around?
Tinkerbell does appear and she has this very annoyed, frustrated look because there's a young, beautiful woman standing here. And of course, you are nothing but competition.
Can you fly me to the castle? Looking at Tinkerbell.
She hovers in front of you, crosses her arms, and gives you the snub.
Okay.
She opens one eye.
Never mind. I will just walk. Thank you, everyone. I will just walk around all of them and keep on walking the yellow brick road.
You hear Jack in the background saying, why does she always do this? Tell her to behave. I mean, I was striking up a relationship with that lady. We were having a very good conversation. She was asking all the right questions and she just wanted to see the castle. What's so difficult about just showing her the castle, huh? And no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this little mite. Don't bite my finger. We've been there. Don't bite my finger. You keep walking?
Yeah, but I will look over my shoulder.
You see Jack Sparrow. Next to him is standing Peter Pan, who's a good 1.5 heads shorter than him. And then there is a little Tinkerbell flying around, and his head, Jack's head, and he keeps doing this and basically trying to swat at her like a fly. And then he keeps, and then he picks up the pace and he runs after you. Milady!
Let's just walk there, maybe?
All right. And he offers you his arm.
I will hook myself in.
Mm-hmm. And the two of you walk the yellow road.
Yep.
The yellow brick road.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you hear in your head, yes, filled out in triplicate, but Mademoiselle Micheline?
No, it's not Micheline. It's Anne-Laure.
Anne-Laure, yeah. Mademoiselle Anne-Laure? You have terrible handwriting. How am I supposed to file that? I can't read half of it. All right. How's the portraits coming along, Toulouse? You hear a little mewling sound. Meow. And then you hear something that sounds a lot like somebody stamping something. Here are your cards. You're free to go. And if somebody wants to check up on you, please show them the cards. You're now officially registered citizens. This is an all-access pass, if you like. All of the attractions are open for no additional fee, except the archives. Staff only.
Okay.
And then you hear Celeste. Well, about my friend. She's still not here. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should have sent Jack. Jack has a way with the ladies. He's they're probably having tea by now, and biscuits.
No, we're not eating.
I don't know. Who else to send? Well, can you send us to them? You hear somebody clicking their fingers on a wooden surface. I guess. And before you, in a beautiful whirlwind of glitter, appear Anne-Laure and Celeste.
Hi, guys.
She didn't lie. It's really Jack Sparrow.
Jack, meet some of my friends. That's Celeste and there's Anne-Laure.
Enchanté. And he does a really, really lovely bow with a flourish. Celeste looks around him at you and she says, really? Why could you not just stay and do the right thing?
We are on the way to see the Bürgermeister's castle.
Who's the Bürgermeister?
Well, the one who took us.
And why are we going there?
He brought us here. He's probably the only one who can get us out of here.
Jack looks at you and he says, well, I doubt that he will. I don't want to burst your bubble or anything, but he's not... I mean, you see, you are here for a reason.
Because he's a dickhead, yes.
He looks into the air and says, the mental image.
We've seen what happened to him ages ago. And now he's just bullying people.
I suppose he's lonely.
He has all of you. For what does he need to steal people from our world on top of that?
Well, didn't you say I wasn't real? And you can see his matrix is flickering.
Well, we were there to offer him help, and the thing he did was, I don't care. We have family, friends. He destroyed other families. He's hurting a lot of people with his behavior, and he doesn't care.
Don't criticize him so.
I will criticize him for his behavior. He destroyed our lives, literally. I will never see my family again. I will never see my cats again. I will never be able to finish my studies.
All right. I mean, all right. I see you having issues. Maybe
just
talking
point
about
us in
them.
the direction where we can find the castle, please.
Just keep going.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes. Well,
enjoy the pirate life. Don't drink too much.
Okay, so you keep walking.
Yep.
If I were you, I would reconsider.
So we are stuck here and just give up?
Well, I could always make tea.
As long as you don't have a way out of here, we will try to face what brought us here.
Well, I've got the high seas. I've got a wonderful ship. You could have your own cabin.
And where does the ship go?
It sails the 7 seas.
Oh, thank you.
Alas, one day, I will find a lady that will share my life with me. And we will go sailing the 7 seas. We will be unstoppable.
My brain is just like, what female pirate do I know from a movie?
Isn't there a pirate movie with Gina Davis where she plays a pirate?
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but it kind of, I think
I definitely saw it. I definitely saw it. Let's see. It's called in English Cutthroat Island. Und in German it's Piratenbraut. Jack, maybe you just try and see if you can find Morgan Adams. She's a pirate.
Morgan Adams? And how do you know her?
I've seen her in a movie. Just like you.
Morgan Adams. Does she have her own ship?
I think so.
Then
if I can remember right.
I shall set sail forthwith. And he runs along the road in the opposite direction.
In his usual way.
Very much so. So you walk towards the castle, do you?
Yes. You know, if there would be a way out, I would probably even enjoy this. But I don't want to be stuck here. I will throw myself off a cliff.
And she holds up her citizen's registration card. And it's got her portrait and Anne-Laure's as well. And they are really beautifully done, and they do look like them, but they're done in a cartoon style, as if they had just come out of a Disney movie. And she says, and guess what?
I heard it. It was to lose the cat.
He's about this big.
He's a kitten, so I guess.
Yes.
But he's talented. It
Very
definitely
much
looks
so.
like you guys.
And he's so cute. I was thinking of putting him in my pocket and just taking him with me, but then I thought maybe not.
He has a job, as it seems. He's important.
Very
because
much so.
no one that arrives there will have a picture with them.
Snow White was quite,
Stressed out.
She sees this every day. But the dwarves were quite nice.
I think Snow White just needs a vacation of all of this.
Yes,
just
she
hang
does.
out with the dwarves in peace and quiet.
Or fall asleep for 100 years and wait for somebody to kiss her.
Or that.
So the 3 of you walk down that road and finally you get to the castle. It looks more like like one of those really kind of like spooky, scary castles that you see in some of the old movies. So it's not a cartoon movie style castle, but more like Castle Dracula. So it's also on the outcrop of a mountain. So, and also, it's a bit strange because you are standing on this brick road and there's sunlight, and basically it's almost like there is a line, and when you walk across it becomes dark. As you turn around, you see the brick road where it's sunny, and it's almost like you stepped into a painting, more or less. So It's a 3D painting. Do you want to go on?
Yes.
Okay. So you go on. You can see that it's kind of like a little bit of a climb. So there's like switchbacks. And it's also a lot colder now. And you can see bats wheeling above. And one or the other croaking. And you finally make it to the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you knock?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You knock. After a while, the door swings open with a creak of the hinges. Opens inward. Do you walk inside? You see before you a kind of courtyard. Not a kind of, it's a courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly
so no one
what you see.
so no one is there that opens
It's
the
almost
door.
like a ghostly hand, a mage hand was used to pull open the door.
Excuse me, are we allowed to come in? Just waiting.
No reply.
Well then, let's stick together and go.
Go inside, step into the courtyard. The door swings shut behind you.
We move forward.
Okay, so basically you are in this courtyard. You can see you see the gate behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You see to the side something that looks like maybe a stable door that's open.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those half doors that basically,
Yeah.
And then there is a set of stairs, 4 steps leading up to what looks like the front entrance.
Well then.
Front entrance?
Yep.
Go upstairs. What do?
Keep on walking.
You get to the door.
Knock, knock, knock.
You hear a noise. Steps.
Mm-hmm.
A key is turned. The door is being opened.
Mm-hmm.
Before you see a man. About 170, dressed as a butler. Good evening.
Good evening.
How may I help you?
We're here to see the Bürgermeister.
Do you have an appointment?
Well, obviously.
He is so kind of like, may I see your card, please?
Which
Celeste pushes you to the side and hands him her card. Mademoiselle Durand. Very well. Please wait in the parlor. Everybody goes in. Do you follow?
Yeah, I do.
All right. He leads you into the parlor. There's a nice fire burning, which is important because the stone walls are really cold. There are some refreshments. You open one of the decanters. Brandy. Very good brandy. Anne-Laure basically ditches everything, every reserve. She just has a brandy or 5. She's like, they're not paying me enough for this.
Well, but if you're drunk, you will not be able to help us to get out of here.
Killjoy.
I am not opposed to one drink, but please be able to, if you have to shoot someone, to shoot the right person and not the sibling that you're seeing that is not there.
She begins to laugh. You are actually quite funny. You should be funny more often. Don't always be so strict. She has one more drink.
Oh boy.
And do you think Leo is here? And she looks around as if she's expecting him to walk in every second now.
No, he's in the archives, we know that. The only question is he working there? Or if he has been archived?
She puts down the glass really loud. She's like, what do you mean he's been archived?
I don't know. Jack said there's a way to work there or to be part of the archive because you have been archived.
Is this a euphemism for killing?
Maybe.
This is not cool.
No.
I think I need more drink.
No. Water. Water.
Do you take the bottle from her?
Yes.
You are no fun.
We are not here for fun. It's work.
She slumps into one of the easy chairs next to the fire.
You know Leo would kick you for your behavior.
He's the reason why we're here in the first place.
That is very true.
So if anybody's gonna do the kicking, it'll be me.
Well, you would not be able to hit him in this condition.
Just watch me.
Don't break your legs, please.
The door opens. In steps the butler. His lordship will see you now.
Well, come on. I will reach out my hand to Anne-Laure.
Anne-Laure pointedly does not take your hand and gets up in this kind of like really controlled way that drunk people who know that they're drunk but don't want to let on have. And she walks out very stiffly, and every so often she touches the wall to steady herself. And Celeste's like, you know what, the two of you are like, seriously.
Drinking is not helping in our situation. I get the idea, but...
Well, who went away? Who left us to... You know, you could have stayed. No, Madame had to leave. Madame had to try the clicking the heels and saying, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home.
I honestly did not think it would work.
You could have died. Something terrible could have happened to you. Do you know how worried I was?
I could have just went home and maybe find a way to save us. Also, you could have just done the same and followed me. I will give her a little nudge.
I had no idea where you had gone. I was terrified. And the
But
first
you
thing
heard what I did. You could have just done the same.
Yeah, and then maybe ended up on the opposite side of this world.
Well, obviously you would end in Oz.
You don't know.
Well,
I didn't know because I didn't know this was going to work. What's next? Wishing wells where you then can wish yourself away?
well, there are probably wishing wells. I highly doubt he will let anyone wish away.
Okay, can we just agree on this? If we find a wishing well here somewhere and it says, or if we find a potion that says drink me, we will not drink it?
My goal is to talk to him and talk some sense into him.
Yeah, good luck. All right, she says...
Well, the chance to destroy him just went drunkenly past us.
Yeah, she's got a really weird coping mechanism, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Keep
Either
going.
he helps or we need to get rid of him. That's the only options we have.
I'm not sure if we can.
I honestly don't want to because I really think he is lonely and he needs help.
You keep going?
Yeah.
All right, make a perception check, please.
That is a 12 plus 3, 15. No stunt time.
You walk down the corridor Anne-Laure is in front of you, maybe like 10 paces ahead. And to the left and right of you are doors. And behind one of those doors, you hear 2, maybe 3 children talking.
Okay.
What do you do?
Should we peek in if it's children from our side of the film or from the other side?
All right.
Although I'm not sure that will change anything.
Do you open the door?
Yeah, I will carefully open the door and peek in.
All right, so you open the door and you see 3 children, aged 9, 10 maybe, dressed in modern clothes like children of your time would wear them. They don't look like they are film material.
Okay, so everybody they don't ring a bell from a movie or anything.
So they're not like maybe the children from Stranger Things or E.T. or anything like that. So you, and also, I mean, everybody kind of has a little bit of a 2-dimensional quality to themselves. Not like when they turn around that they're just a strip in the landscape. But everybody has looked, unless of course they were cartoon characters, in which case of course they looked like cartoon characters. But even Jack Sparrow had kind of like a silver screeny film-like quality to himself, as does the butler. These children look a lot more like yourselves. They look up.
You've been taken too.
Is this a line from a movie? If so, I'm not sure.
We just arrived. He just took us from the playground where he took you guys to.
Are you real?
From Paris actually, but we were sent to investigate why there was something off with the Serene retreat where you grew up.
The 3 look at each other. She seems legit. She knows. All right.
Is he treating you right?
Who?
The man that took you guys.
We mostly stay away from him. He doesn't bother us. But I'd really like to go home, and the boys too.
We would like to go home too.
How?
We will try to talk to him.
He's hard to talk to.
But he's the only way out. He's lonely. And he has a very weird way of coping with it.
You see, the problem is you can't really talk to him because he can't talk to you. He doesn't have a face. He has no mouth.
Can he hear?
They look at each other and they kind of tilt their heads. Maybe because he can see you if you are in front of a camera. So maybe he can hear you too, if you're in front of a microphone.
We said we still had our phones with us.
Yes.
We just didn't have any connection, right?
Yeah, and you also powered them down so as not to waste the batteries, if I recall correctly. There was no reception, there was no signal.
We can show him something on the screen and she will just pull out the phone. If we turn it back on, we have something that might wake him up a little.
All right, I guess.
By the way, I'm Amélie.
This is François. I'm Marie. And this is Simon.
You're very brave for holding up. Stick together. We will try to get us all out of here.
We're gonna stay here. Can you find your way back once you're gone?
Yes.
All right. So, we were going to run away. Like, you know, the house is really big, but if you're gonna come for us, we're just gonna lock the door and
Do you have a watch or anything like that?
yes. But all three of them raise their hands, and you can see that they've got wristwatches.
If we are not back in the next 3 hours, run.
All right, we will.
Okay.
All right. So
Hope to see you in a little bit.
they smile,
I will smile back to them.
and you step outside, and as you step outside, they close the door and then they lock it.
Good.
All right.
Well, at least some of them are still alive.
Yes. I wonder if he's archived any of the children. I mean, that's terrible.
Well, I think he would probably rather archive annoying adults that don't want to cooperate.
Like you?
That's why I'm worried that Leo is not working there, but being held there.
So, come on.
Yeah.
But you also notice that she is basically kind of holding on to a piece of your clothing so as not to let you go again.
Oh, believe me, I will take her hand that we
All
can
right.
walk together, because I don't want to lose her.
So after a while, the house you notice is huge. It is really huge. It's a lot bigger. I mean, this is kind of like a weird thing to say, but it's a lot bigger on the inside than it looked from outside. So you're probably, and also it's kind of, as you walk through it, you notice that it seems like it's not built in one style, not from one era. It's kind of put together like a collage.
Yep.
And then finally, the butler brings you to a door, and he knocks. He waits, and he says, "Please step inside."
Thank you.
You step inside, and what you see is a huge movie theater. It's completely empty. So basically, the seats are slanting down towards the silver screen. And there is, in the very front row, you can see a person sitting with their back turned towards you and facing the silver screen, on which you can see a movie.
Which movie?
It is actually a movie of you.
Okay.
As you are walking around the estate, the Serene retreat. Doing various things, how you arrive, basically taking shopping from the car into the house, things like that. So it's security camera footage.
Should we walk down to him?
I guess. And Laura's taken out her pistol.
Just put it away. Please.
All right, you're the boss. She puts it away. But don't come running to me if you die. Just say.
I did say throw it out. I just said don't enter a conversation that might go well with a pistol pointed at him. Because honestly, I highly doubt you can shoot him here.
Is she always so prickly? I mean, how do you actually stand this? She says to Celeste. Celeste says, maybe you should just find a seat and sit down, like in the second row where you can see him and us and just enjoy the movie and be quiet. And so the two of you walk towards the man in black.
Yep. And while we walk down there, I will turn on my mobile phone.
And doing what with it?
First of all, just that it's on and loading, and just to have it at hand.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Because it takes time for it to boot and pin and all that. So
right.
that I just want to have it ready.
Okay, so you do that.
Uh-huh.
And then?
Stepping next to him. Just thank you for taking time to talk to us. Just see if he reacts.
He turns his head towards you, and you can see it's just a blur. It's white.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any facial features.
Can you just nod if you understand us?
He nods.
Okay. We know what happened to you. And we know you are lonely. Because it should never have happened. But in this castle, why are you taking so many people and not joining them around you? Close around you?
You suddenly hear music coming from the speaker system. And it's more like a commercial jingle that you would kind of like, for somebody trying to sell Persil or whatever.
Yeah.
And he basically nods towards the screen.
Okay. I will look to the screen.
Okay. On the screen, you see Jamie Oliver. And he's like, dear guests, today we're going to cook. No, we're not here to cook today. All right. So, what's that? Ah, I see. Oh, sorry, I'm here to do exposition. Yeah. Am I getting paid still, even if I don't cook? Have you discussed this with my agent? Because usually I just cook. I'm not the exposition guy. All right. Yeah, I guess. All right. Okay. Normal fee. Yeah. And, the additional money that goes to my children's charity also. Okay. Yeah. All right. And excuse me, I'm here to do exposition. You were saying that you are surprised that the honourable gentleman in the front row is not bringing people closer together to him, although he is collecting them.
Well,
the reason is that he has found out that his visage is basically off-putting to people. People tend to be afraid of him, so he has decided not to engage too closely.
but if people get to know you, it doesn't matter how you look.
I'm done with the exposition. I can't really answer that question because this is not me, because of course I look normal. All right, I see. This is me signing out. Bye. And the commercial jingle comes on again and the screen fades.
Do you really want to be stuck in this for eternity? Or do you want to help us to try to fix this?
Make an intelligence roll.
Okay. Oh. 6. Wait, that's a 11 and a 2 on the stunt die. No, lie. A 3 on the stunt die.
She did even worse.
Oh well.
She didn't even manage to get into double digits. However, our drunk girl is a lot better, and she shouts at you, if somebody can't talk, asking them either or questions doesn't really work.
Thank you.
I really need some popcorn. This is boring.
Do you need help? No. Let me rephrase. Want help from us.
He nods.
just to make sure. This is you, right? And she will pull up the video and she will play it in the proper direction, the original what they found.
He watches the screen intently, and you can see that, yes, he has a huge reaction to it.
Okay, then first of all, let's try and see what your name is, because we didn't have a name for the guy, right? Because no one really... It was a video, it was taken in Paris, wasn't it?
Yeah. Champs-Élysées. You can tell from the Pâté video YouTube channel when it was taken. And also that it was... I mean, this is a valuable thing. That the original movie film, even like the actual film, is a valuable piece of art. Obviously, it is archived in Paris. So, and you can tell where it is. So it is actually, I will just say that the Louvre also has archives where they keep stuff that they may not exhibit, because I'm not sure if they do film exhibits, probably not.
Not sure.
But this kind of thing has, of course, to be archived, because otherwise it's just going to go to waste and get destroyed, and people don't want this.
So, as I said, first of all, we need your name. I don't have pen and paper with me. Could you arrange a piece of paper and a pen? Because you look like at least you should be able to write.
Well, actually, out of nowhere appears a little inkwell and a quill and a very long parchment.
Amelie will hold it for him. If you would like to, because we were not able to find your name. You know ours, I suspect. But if not, I am Amelie. This is Celeste. That is Anne-Laure.
He writes down the name, and it says Philippe Rodin.
Like one of the famous painters.
He shakes his head.
No, it just reminds us. We are still trying to figure out how, because we will not be able to... Well, our idea was first delete the videos, but I'm not sure if this would kill you.
You hear another jingle coming on. And it is Jamie Oliver again.
Hi,
and here
Jamie.
I am again. Well, again, not cooking. But this is a lot more like what I am used to doing. And he cooks with gas. So he lights the gas hob, flames, and he basically adjusts the flame. It's a blue flame. And he takes out a piece of film and just burns it. I hope this is enough of a hint. I really need to run along now. Jules is waiting. Toodles!
Bye. Thank you.
And you hear another jingle.
So you think it would help? Do you have a way to bring us back? Because we will not be able to burn it from here.
He nods.
You still have our friends and the rest here, so you know we will come back.
He nods.
You can pick us up at the playground if we are there?
He nods.
I think the only thing we can not even... Well, pinky promise? He still has his hands, right?
Yeah.
So,
He
pinky
holds out
promise.
His pinky, and you do the pinky promise.
We will make sure to free you of this, Philippe. It should never have happened.
You see that because you're facing him, but you see that now the light is changing, so obviously something is being projected onto the silver screen.
The thing is, with the pinky promise, I think Amelie would have switched then to hold his hand. Like holding one hand with two hands, like giving some assurance. Because to be honest, first I wanted to kick you, but I knew that is not a solution. You didn't choose this. And I'm looking up to the screen.
And Law says, will you be all right? Because I feel a little bit tired, and if you're coming back for me anyway, I might just as well sit here and watch a couple of movies with the gentleman.
Looking over to Celeste, do we need Anne-Laure?
No, we can take Leo's car. We've got the keys, he never took them.
You both take care of each other. You keep him company, he deserves that.
And Laura gets up and very shakily, basically she walks towards him, crashes into the front row, climbs over it in a very, very drunk manner, sits down next to him, stretches out. She's like, you know what? We should totally watch The Godfather. I love that movie. And at that moment, as you look, you see actually that the silver screen is changed to a it's the front door of the house that you had been staying in, on the inside.
Thank you. See you soon.
So you get up onto the...
Yeah, I'll just press his hand. Or no, I'll put my hand on his shoulder.
He basically just puts his own hand over your hand and he touches it very gently. And you also notice that he feels warm.
Yeah.
He's not a corpse. And then
I will take Celeste's hand. Let's go.
And the two of you walk up onto the stage, then towards the silver screen, and you can actually step through that door. And as you do, you end up in the driveway of the house that you were staying in the Serene retreat.
Okay. Looking at phone and if we can get signal.
Yeah.
Calling Micheline.
Micheline answers the phone. Bonjour.
We have a problem. We need help.
Again. Of course. I'm here to help.
We were pulled in as well, where Leo is. And Laura's still there. You remember the video we sent you?
Sure.
We need to find the original.
What?
We need to destroy it. That's the only way to end all of this. His name is Philippe Rodin. He's just desperately trying to get through.
You want to destroy a piece of art just to free somebody named Philippe Rodin?
And Leo, and Anne-Laure, and all the children like Marie, Simone, and the other name is already gone. François. And also even Lydia, as weird as she is. He will take more and more children and other people just out of desperation to get grip of life again. Can we find out where it is, or can you bring us... Do we know where? No, we don't know where.
Well, I mean, I suppose that it is probably in Paris, because that's where the archives are. So why don't you come back to Paris, and while you're driving back, I'm going to research this, and we're going to try and get this done.
Thank you. See you in a bit. We're just jumping into Leo's car.
Okay. So you arrive. We said it's about an hour and 10.
The way we drove, probably less than an hour. Because Amelie's driving.
Amelie's driving, okay. Make a dex check.
Well, at least I'm rolling fine for that. That is a 12... 14 and a 2 on a stunt die.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So you arrive quickly. You park the car. You basically let yourself into the library. Go downstairs to the basement where Micheline resides.
Yeah.
She seems to be in a peach phase because everything smells like peach. And she's like, do come in, do come in. And she basically is chewing on a peach cake. Can I offer you something? A tea, coffee, cake?
Did you find anything?
I can't believe you're French. Seriously, food
We don't have time, Micheline.
There's
People
always
are
time for food.
There are panicked children down there, alone.
She looks at Celeste and she says, is she always such a killjoy? I mean, how do you even stand it? But no, I've got it. I've got you covered. Yes, it's all here. All right. Well, it is in the archives at the Louvre. I have located it. I've got the shelf number. Now the question is, how do we want to get in? Do you want me to make it disappear and maybe make somebody else disappear in the process? Or do you want to try your way, which would be diplomacy and annoying everyone?
Well, your way is probably quicker.
I can't believe you're saying this. Brilliant. You drive.
I think Amelie knows that there's not much diplomacy or talking in her. And we will drive. Leo's car is outside.
Okay, so you drive. There is no parking to be found in anywhere near the Louvre. So
no, obviously not.
Micheline says, pull over over there, pull over there.
Okay, I will just pull over there.
And she takes out she has a briefcase and she takes out, she's got several signs. She's like, how about this? Midwife on call. And she puts it at the front. She's, get moving, la la la.
Yeah, we will lock the car and keep moving.
And you go inside the Louvre. She basically smiles at everyone and shows them a piece of paper which looks like, which is some kind of ID.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, and they are in training. Just ignore them. We need to see the archives. The film archives. It's shelf 1356 F1. And you are informed that she's informed that she needs to speak to one of the archivists because she's at the moment talking to security, and they lead you into the Louvre, into the depths of the Louvre. Again, a basement, and you're brought before the archivists, who look really like they never see the light of day, so they're probably born there and then bred to be archivists. And she again states that she needs to see this shelf, and they're like, film studies. Oh yes, well, I work at the Sorbonne, and these are my students. We are here to watch some of the very old vintage films that you have. We really need to, take a good look at them. You get a really tingly feeling as she's talking to people.
Okay.
And then basically, she's obviously somehow charming them, and they let her and you through. You get into the lift. You go to one floor down, and then basically the way this works is they put you into kind of like a reading room. In this case, it's a viewing room, and they come with those rolls of film in those huge boxes. And they basically open it, and you can see it's actually not that big a reel, very small, because it's a very short film. And she says, well, we'll help ourselves. And they step outside. And she says, so what do we do now?
Take it and leave?
I don't think we can.
Why not?
Do you want to steal from the Louvre?
Well, we would destroy it anyhow.
She takes it from the reel.
We need to take it from the reel, without question. I'm not sure if we need to go back to burn it there. I think so.
Well, you make the call.
I don't want to make a fire in the Louvre archives.
Celeste says, I don't even know if we should burn it before the other ones are out. What if burning it actually destroys the place and everyone in it?
So I would say let's go to the playground, meet up with him, because then he knows we have what we need. And let's see if he can let them go.
So you put everything back into the big case, except the actual film, which you have taken off the reel.
Yeah.
You let yourselves out, and you drive back to. She actually takes you. You go straight to the playground. You don't even drop Micheline off, because you know that time is of the essence, and she will also tell you. Like she could wait in the car or in the house or wherever.
Or she can get close to the playground as well. I don't think it hurts.
So you arrive at the playground.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Walking toward the playground.
You see that all of the cameras are honing in on you.
Yeah. I will take out my phone again, having the video feed on the camera just on, just looking at it.
Yeah, and what happens is basically you see that your video is glitching, and you are in the other world.
Is Celeste with me?
Yes. Micheline isn't.
We got it as quick as we could.
The two of them, basically you arrive at the back of the cinema. You can see that actually it's The Godfather playing. The two of them are sitting there. Anne-Laure is having popcorn, and the two of them are watching the movie.
I will be back in a second. Just wait here, Celeste.
Celeste waits.
Open the door and we'll step out. I want to see if I can find the room where the kids are.
Make an intelligence check with... No, actually make a perception check for seeing. No, this is her. Actually, what is yours? No, make a perception searching check. So it's...
I'm not finding the room. I rolled a triple one.
Oh dear.
That's the worst one I could ever have.
That is the worst roll ever.
Wait, is there anything? No, it's... Is it observation?
Yes, it is actually.
If I fail, I can re-roll, but I have to take the result. It can't
get any worse,
literally. That is... Thank God that I took that talent. That is 14.
Okay, that's... Yeah, you find the room.
I will knock at the door.
Do you say anything?
It's Amélie, still there?
How can we know it's you?
You can't. You just need to trust.
This is so stupid. That is something she would say. You hear the door getting unlocked. And the three are standing there. And when they see it's you, they basically throw themselves at you and hug you.
Come on, guys. Let's go to the cinema.
I thought you were going to take us home.
Yes, that's what we're doing. Don't be scared of him.
They hold hands and they also cling to you. So you have like 3 limpets.
That is fine. That is fine.
You walk back to the cinema.
Yep.
Celeste is standing by the door. As you open the door, you can see that she's actually looking at her watch.
Yeah.
And when you come into view, you see a wave of relief washing over her face. And then she turns to the children and says, "So who are you?" And they introduce themselves. And she says, "Well, I'm Celeste."
I just wanted to make sure that they are not running off, as I told them, because if we would have taken more time, I bet they would have broken out without any problems.
Oh, little rascals. So, okay. So
and Laura, do you still have popcorn that you might want to share?
Sure, and also sweet stuff. Look, I've got Sprite and Fanta and Dr. Peppers.
Come on, kids. Maybe not the drinks, but at least some sweets for you. You deserve that.
It's butter popcorn. It's not sweet, I'm afraid. Salted butter. Oh, my favorite. And the 3 rush. And she's got like this huge bucket. And she hands it to the... You notice that she's sobered up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will sit on the other side of him. Just plonk myself in a seat.
Yeah. He turns his head towards you. He looks at you. Well, you presume.
Yeah. We have to film. Before we destroy it, we need to make sure that the people get out.
He nods, and he basically then the picture changes. It's a door. It opens, and out steps Leo and 4 other children.
Did we hear about adults vanishing as well?
You did, but you don't know what happened to them.
There's one missing. I hope at least this Lydia is still alive. I know she's annoying.
You hear a voice, and it's Lydia, and she says, "This kind of treatment, what is going on here? I completely refuse to accept this. And what do you mean you have to take my likeness? And what do you mean I need to register?" You see Snow White pushing Lydia in, and she says, and she turns towards the man, and she says, "I'm not getting paid enough for this. Me and the dwarves, we are quitting."
Thank you, Snow White, for your help.
And in the background here, "Hey ho, hey ho."
Just looking at the kids, your parents are back? Or did they come with you?
No,
Okay.
there are no adults here. He's the only one, and they point to Leo and this woman, but she's new. She also talks a lot.
Oh yeah, she does. Thank you. Guys, through the door.
Everybody walks through the door. And Laure gives Leo a hug, and the 2 of them basically just nod at each other, and then they wait for everybody to file through. They're now basically standing guard.
So, shall we burn it together?
He nods towards the door and hands you the piece of film.
Okay. We will make sure you're not forgotten.
And he nods. Do you step through?
I think Amelie will probably give him a hug first.
He hugs you back.
And then she will grab Celeste and will step through. But first she will like Leo and Anne-Laure. Come on, guys. Deeply.
The 2 of them step through.
And we will step through too.
So basically you step through, you are back in your house. Now your house is really crowded.
Everyone take a place. If someone needs a restroom, there are a lot of loose on all the floors, cozy beds. And let's go outside. I think there was a fireplace or a grill or something like that out there.
There is a barbecue.
Then let's make a fire.
You make a fire. You light the film on fire.
Yeah. So first we make a fire and then drop the film in.
So film, when it gets ignited, looks very interesting as it starts to crinkle. And then, and as it turns to ash, every single camera, every single of these CCTV cameras sparks and there's a little explosion. And they all burn quickly. I mean, it's not like there's a huge fire, but they all... and all the lights go out. All the light bulbs explode.
Looking at my phone, is it dead as well?
It's fine.
Let's go to the playground, see if it worked.
You go to the playground?
Yeah, and Amelie will use her phone again as camera, because I guess the cameras here are probably broken as well.
Yeah, so the cameras are broken. So you turn on your camera. What are you looking for?
Seeing if he shows up or is connected or not. If not, I think she will take it as it's done.
You see nothing, but Celeste is there with you, and she is actually replaying the YouTube footage of the film.
Yeah.
And he's not in it.
So it worked.
It did?
We're back in Paris. Let's look through the registry of the people and see if we can find Philippe Rodin.
Okay, so...
But first of all, we need to phone a lot of parents to let them know their kids are still alive.
Yeah. And I think this is probably going to be a really weird thing.
Yeah, especially because it's a question if they grew older or not.
They all look pretty young, and you know that none of these were older than teenagers, because after a certain age you don't really go to the playground other than to hang out and drink, but this wasn't the place where this would have been acceptable, because, this being a gated community and stuff, so they have probably not aged. So, do you go back to Paris to start ringing from there, or do you start ringing from the house, or how do you want to do this?
Ringing from here.
Okay, so you find out from each of the children what their names are.
Yeah, we have the equipment to have a peek and see what we can find.
Yeah, because now you need to find out where these people are.
Yeah.
So all of the children, you can locate their parents. The one time when one of them deregistered and there was no new address, but he wasn't one of the fathers.
Okay.
So he was single, as far as you know, and he just deregistered and nobody knows where he went. So essentially, you locate all of the parents.
Yeah.
It turns out that one or two couples have actually split. Sometimes this happens when trauma hits, that they don't stay together. So Micheline will also offer to help.
Yeah. I think we just split up.
Yeah. And so you ring and...
Honestly, especially Amelie will not take care of Lydia. She is on her own to deal with all of this.
But before you do this, Micheline asks, what is the cover story? I mean, how are we going to explain this? The children are back, but they haven't aged. It was 13 years ago.
I don't think we can give an explanation, because there is no logical explanation. They were kidnapped and we found them.
I think we will have to invest quite a lot of money.
I think so, I'm afraid. But honestly, I think the parents will just be glad to have the kids back.
All right, so let's get cracking.
Yeah.
So you ring, and basically a reunification do is arranged. So basically the children are taken back to Paris, put up in a really lovely hotel. The parents are brought in, also undercover so that nobody knows who is there. So the ITN is taking care of this. They have operatives there. I mean, they have psychologists and everything, because this is a trauma in a way as well.
Mm-hmm.
And and at the end of the day, what's going to happen is they get offered new identities.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also one of those things that they will forever kind of be on the books of the ITN to ensure that if something happens, that there is help on hand, that there is money on hand, and so on and so forth. But also the whole thing is hushed up. So
obviously you don't know, you don't want the media or anyone to really know about that.
And then Philippe Rodin.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that Philippe Rodin was actually a baker in Paris. He had a bakery, and one day he went missing, and it was just assumed that, you know, he literally stepped out to get cigarettes, never came home.
Okay.
There was a rumor that maybe he had an affair, an extramarital affair. Some people said that maybe he decided to leave France and make his fortune in the United States, which way back when was easy because you could easily immigrate. Yeah. Not like today, because we're talking 19th century. That's it. And interestingly enough, the bakery still exists. It's got a different name now, but it's still a bakery in Paris.
Does he have like descendant family, or he didn't have kids? Probably.
He did. He had 2 children. Okay.
I think Amelie would like try to follow the family line.
Yes, and there is one great grandson today. He's not a baker. He's a bus driver.
What's his name? I'm sorry to be mean to have you great names.
Maurice Tournier.
Question would also be, Philippe probably never got a gravestone, did he?
No, because he really just vanished. He was declared dead after a while, because obviously, you know, life has to go on. People have to start inheriting. People have to be able to continue business, not just on the surface, but at deeper levels. So he was declared dead after, let's say, 15 years or whatever the time frame was back then. Mm-hmm. But since there was nothing to bury, nothing was buried. And there was no tombstone.
With Celeste together, at least Amelie would propose to go into the bakery. Mm-hmm. Have a seat there, see if they also have coffee, and just sit there and enjoy something.
Yeah.
And afterwards going to one of the big cemeteries. I think at least most of the big cemeteries have like a grave for anonymous, unknown, or lost people.
I just take your word for it. Yes, they do.
And that would be a place where Amelie would put down a drawing she did of him.
Okay.
And not the him that we met, but the him that we saw on the video feed. Just by memory of what she saw.
All right. Very nice. Yes, you do that. Mm-hmm.
And then we make plans to visit Ash's concert.
Okay, you make plans to visit Ash's concert, yes. And is it? Do you go with Nico, or do you go on your own?
We go on our we go on our own.
Okay, so the evening arrives.
Mm-hmm.
You go there. You have an access all area pass. You are brought in a little bit early because, of course, there's a kind of like whatever you call it, pre-group.
Yeah.
And during that time, you can meet the band. And then she says, well, just briefly now, but afterwards there's going to be a little party. Not very many people, just a little bit of food, a little bit of drink. And we'll see you there. Then the concert begins. It's really good. It's not your music, but you can tell art when you see it or hear it in this case. And then afterwards there is an after party. But as is often the case, sometimes the most rowdy groups are the most timid ones afterwards. There is drink, yes, there is wine. This is France. They're all French. So typical cliche. There is food, but it's really chill. I mean, most people smoke, so that's probably the one downside. But the only thing they smoke is actual real tobacco. Yeah, and it's the band is nice people, there is nothing wrong with them. Yeah. And Celeste and Ash hands you another, and this time it's a vinyl album, and everyone has signed the sleeve.
Amelie is very tempted to keep it for herself.
Yeah, it is for you. It is for Amelie.
Oh, framed.
Ash smiles and she says, "Really?"
Yes. I will hang it on my door. And Nico
honored.
will suffer every day he walks past my room.
She looks at Celeste. She says, "I like her." Yeah.
And Amelie will do that. She will keep it up for a week, and then she will move it into her room. But for 1 week, Nico will see the framed on her door or next to the door, whatever works.
And she's like, and he's like, you had to rub it in, didn't you?
Well, you didn't want to be seen with me there. You could have gone to the after party.
He takes a cat and just basically silently cries into their fur. Yeah, and Toulouse, of course, he's very happy that you're back. Do you tell him about the painting cat?
Yes. He will hear all the adventure.
He's a very good listener.
I know.
And basically then, it is time for you again. Time goes on, time passes. It's just a couple of weeks now, 2 weeks before term starts again. And Amelie will have to go back to school. Studying, because that's what she wants. She wants to finish school. And we shall leave it here for the two ladies. We will come back in November with a completely new story arc. It's going to be 5E24, and it's going to be called A Murder of Crows. And I'm going to do a channel update to talk a little bit about what the story is about, because I also want to advertise the actual adventure, which you can buy. And until such time, we will see you again.
Yes.
And wish you all the best. Bye.
Bye.